What's up, people? Wait for you guys to go ahead and jump on in for a second. And I'll tell you what's going on. I can't believe I did this. We'll see if anybody's going to join us in a minute. We'll give you guys. Hello, Joe. Hello. How are you? Hopefully you're having a good day today. It's bad news. I made a bad mistake. It's not life-threatening or anything like that.
Yeah, you married me.
You know how, like, when you're when you're driving your car and sometimes somebody cuts you off and you just want to run into them? Well, I didn't do anything like that. Okay, all I did was I made a mistake on Sip's ticket for booking the ticket to come visit. And because I made a mistake, he's not going to be able to be here when I said we were going to be able to get him here. It's going to be a few days later now because I have to rebook his ticket. And we missed out on that flight, so it's going to be a different time. But basically what happened is when I booked his ticket, my computer at one portion of the screen auto corrected everything. I went to go put my email in for confirmation, and when I did that, it put all my information and blended his information. So it had a ticket for a person that doesn't exist, with the birthday of his birth date, with my name, his mixture of his name. So he was supposed to be here on like the 5th, and I don't think I'm going to be able to get him here until like the 7th or 8th now. And he was going to stay. So we're still going to be able to do it. It's just, oh, you thought I killed somebody? Yeah. That's what I was going for. For those who know me on Facebook, I went to the thrift store today just to run around, and I love going to the thrift store. It's one of my favorite things to do. And while I was there, I found a Commodore N1530 for a Commodore computer, which is the old tape drives. So if you guys are familiar with it, maybe not. Well, here, let me show you a quick picture. I found that. That's it right there. So I found one of those. Right, Operation Help. Well, see, though, you got to remember. So I found it at the thrift store, and I said to the lady, I was like, I can't believe you guys have this. She goes, what? It's a tape player, right? I'm like, yes, it's a tape player. It's a tape player. I think it was like $4. And I went online and I priced them, and I got it in the box. It's in the box. It's still got the styrofoam on the side that holds everything in place. And I think I spent, $4 on it, and I priced it online, and they're going for like anywhere from $30 to $65. So I'm gonna flip it because I have no interest in it. It's cool. I'm glad I got to hold one and touch one, but I have no interest in it whatsoever. Oh no, I went to a thrift store. It was a local thrift store, just a local thrift store. So it was really cool just to find one. And I've looked for I always look for things like this, and people don't generally know what it is. And I didn't know 100% of what it is at first, and I was looking at it, and I was like, wait a minute. And I'm looking, I'm like, that's not a tape player. And I was like, wait, Commodore, that's for a Commodore computer. And I'm like, oh snap, I gotta. Oh yeah, oh yeah. Well, I mean, the lady said it's a tape player. I'm like, well, yeah, it's a tape player, technically. And then once I made my purchase, then I told her what it was. You know, because if I ever worked at a thrift store, I'd never get a paycheck because I'd just be like, yo, hold that for me, take it out of my check. Because I know how to flip stuff like that. It's so easy, too. And I found some more of the Black Diamond Disney movies on VHS that I needed. I'm getting so close to a complete collection of all of the 18 original Black Diamond VHS movies. Now, I did pick up some more copies today, and generally I sell those for $10 and I buy them for 70 cents or 70p. for our friends in the UK. And a few of them that I found still had like all the paper inserts. I'll have to show you guys sometime. And it still had coupons for Teddy Grams that expires in January 1st of 1991. It had a movie release date for Beauty and the Beast for October 30th. Check it out on VHS, coming to a home theater system near you. So to find the paperwork with these movies, I really don't give a damn. I don't know if we know about the same thing, Black Diamond. Disney released a movie collection called a Black Diamond, and there's also a thing called a Black Diamond Hill, where when you go skiing, a Black Diamond is the type of hill, and I'm very good at Black Diamonds. My first time, I went twice down the Bunny Hill snowboarding, then I was like, we're good, let's hit the hill. And we went straight to the top of a Black Diamond, snowboarded my way down for the first time. Took a couple falls, of course, but not bad for my first time. Just said, you know what, cool, got this, let's go do it. My first time snowboarding. So today's scores were very good. No. But it was fun. I always love going to the thrift store to find stuff like this. And generally, I'll go to the thrift store 4, 5, 6 times and find nothing. Absolutely nothing. Maybe a movie here or there, a book that I think I can flip. Maybe some toy cars or Hot Wheels or something like that. And, today was just to find that one thing. That one thing right there was worth it. It was I spent about 10 minutes in there, and I'm going to be able to at least quintuple my money out of that. So, that's a good deal. That's a good deal for 10 minutes. 10 minutes worth of that. It'll be easy to flip. I'll post that online tonight. Hot Wheels. I've got some really cool old Hot Wheels. I found an antique store here in town, and they made a mistake. They haggle. They haggle. Oh, so I went in there and I haggled. And I haggled them out of some good stuff. And when they thought that I was done haggling, I haggled them some more. And I got some really cool Hot Wheels out of them, some video games and some junk that I wound up flipping. I do this all the time. Facebook makes it too easy, people. It's one of the things I enjoy doing once in a while when I get a hair. If I want to make some extra money to buy some stuff I want, and there's some stuff at the game store I want. Let me tell you this, at the local game store, and I want it so bad, but I can't afford it. There'd be no way I could ever. If I saved up all my allowance for 3 months, I could buy this one Nintendo game. 3 months I would have to save up my allowance to buy this one Nintendo game. And it's Hanna-Barbera's Wacky Racers on NES. They also have Battletoads and Double Dragon, and I want that real bad too, but again, that would be 2 months allowance to buy that one game. But they did get some Batman and Robin, Batman games, the original with Michael Keaton, Batman, and Batman the movie, and Batman Returns with, all those people, Danny DeVito and Michael Keaton and what's-her-face. It's Double Dragon's Battletoads. I had Battletoads. Now, J-Man, I had Battletoads, but the problem with Battletoads is that until I can get myself a tube TV, there was a part in the game I could never beat, and it just can't be done on a flat screen TV. So I was like, and Battletoads really is considered one of the hardest two-player games in the history of games. You can't beat it on 2 players. It's impossible. So, what I did was I took that game and I traded it for Contra. Or Super C. It was Super C. Or is it Super C or Contra? I think if I get I had Super C and Contra, and I beat them both. Now, do remember this, too, if people don't know this, is that Contra has the Konami code. Up, down, left, right, left, right. Super C does not, and because I played Super C first, before I played Contra, I learned the Super C code and not the Konami code. So when I went back to later learn it, I had to go back online to remember it, because the code I remember was up, down, left, right, B, A, start. And that was the code for Super C. But on Contra, it was up, down, left, right. So it was a different code completely. And of course, the Konami code was used so the programmers could beat the game easier while testing it. And they left it in there, and it became a very famous code. Evie picked up some games too, though. What are the games you picked up?
Jeopardy.
Evie you got Wheel of Fortune.
Yeah.
Evie got Wheel of Fortune on PlayStation, and everybody loves it. She's like, "Will you play with me?" I'm like, "Heck yeah, I'll play some Wheel of Fortune." I love Wheel of Fortune. Fabulous games and prizes on Wheel of Fortune. It's 10 minutes to Wapner, definitely. Uh-oh. Jeopardy. And then I also picked up some multi-adapters. Thanks. Did you say poop my pants with the bird? I'm gonna have to go back and watch your video. I saw that Ash loaded his up, and I needed to get mine up, so I needed to come in with you guys. So I just quickly skimmed through it. I got to go back and watch it more completely of his upload recently that he just put up. But this is so cool, man. It was just a cool find. And again, with the Commodore thing, it's cool to hold. Well, you know what? You guys tune into my live streams. You deserve to see it too. Hold on. It's only fair. Okay. So, alright, it's only fair you guys get to see it. It's not fair that I make you just look at a picture and you guys tune in all the time. So, first off, there she is, completing the box. We'll cover that up. There you go. There you go. How about that? Nice in the box, right? Open her up. There she blows. Whoops. Okay. And there it is. How about that? Can't just find that anywhere anymore. Look at this connection too. It's got, when you hooked it into the computer, you would have to attach it to its own grounding cable. The connector, I'm not even sure what kind of connector that is, or what you would use to connect it. I have no idea. But there she blows. Everything seems to work on it. Spring pops up, still nice and strong, you know. It's got the little counter on the side and I guess a little saving light. Now I looked it up too. If you had a tape in here and you played it on fast mode, both sides, you could get 2K of memory. 2K of memory. What in the hell would you do with 2K of memory? Nothing. You couldn't do anything. You tried it. I don't own a Commodore, which is why I'm going to take this and I'm going to sell it. I have no interest in using it or playing it or going to get all the other components I would need to run it. I know nothing about a Commodore. I showed it to my dad, sent him a picture of it, and he was saying he played with a Commodore back in the day when he was younger, but I've never seen a Commodore in my life. So this is why when I saw this, I knew exactly what it was because I recognized the name. I know it from retro gaming that Commodore used to make computers, and you could have games like this. This was a gaming. You could have games on it like that. Computer gaming. But the CN2 dataset unit model 1530. So, yeah, you know, I'll find somebody who's going to appreciate it, maybe another Commodore fan, maybe on eBay or something, and they're going to appreciate that it's in the box, and they're going to love it, and they're going to maybe be able to use it, and if it doesn't, I don't even know if it works. And I have really no way of testing it to know if it works, but I'm sure that there's like what components could go bad on that. Hello, Shelly. These things don't break. They don't break. Maybe like a capacitor goes bad or something like that on there, but that's an easy fix. Now I'm sure there's somebody out there who could like maybe hard pin it and find an emulator to run this and I don't even know what you would need to do to even get that working short of just getting a Commodore. But c'est la vie, huh? What are you gonna do? But that's something that I'm gonna enjoy. Um, Unless it has nostalgic meaning to me, I really don't care. It'll be fun to say that I got to hold one and I held one, and if somebody ever brings up one in conversation, I'll have something to be able to add it on the conversation about the time that I had one, but it means nothing. I just know that I can flip that. That's all I know is I can flip that. Anything old tech can be flipped. Easy. Because there's nerds out there who love this stuff. So I don't know, it's just good stuff. It's just cool to find old school gaming and tech like this. I think the first time I played a computer game, it had to be probably 19, I think I was 5, so it was like 1990. Beginning of 19, so no, I think it was right before I turned 5. So I think I was 4 in 1990, beginning of 1990, and we went to my aunt's wedding. She was going to get married, so we stayed at my uncle's house for a while, my great uncle, out in California when I was a kid for like a month, and he had a computer, and he had those big floppies, the 5 3/4, I think, not one in a whatever it was, the smaller ones, the big black ones, and he had this game where they would throw a baby out of a building, and you were a fireman at the bottom with a little net kind of thingamajigger. And there was 2 firemen, and the baby would bounce on it, and you had to move the firemen underneath them and bounce the baby into the truck. You had to do at least 3 bounces to bounce the babies, and then go back and get the next baby and move the guys back and forth. And that was the whole game. And I was immediately like, whew. I was already playing Atari as a kid because Dad had an Atari. I've been trying to get my dad to come into a live stream. I told him he needs to come by one. Hold on, let me let him know too, because you guys would love to hear. If you guys could meet my pops in one of the live streams, you would love it. He was going through some of the videos, looking at it, and of course doing my dad commenting as he does. He's got his sarcastic satire like I do. I think that's where I get it from. Is definitely my dad. Let me see if I can tell him. There we go. All right, we'll see if he can stop in. I'd love to have my pops come in here and talk to you guys. I have to go to his house sometime. That would have been something fun to plan to do soon. Go to my dad's house. I'm supposed to do the final episode of the Unique Drink Guru with my dad. And so I'm going to go out to his house to shoot of the last episode. And I think we're going to do something like 6 or 7 drinks. And we're going to try them all. The final episode of the Unique Drink Guru. And then there'll be no more ever again. I'll make no more episodes after that. We'll wrap up with a full season. I guess 34 episodes, and that'll be that. And then it'll be history. But gonna finish up the last one with him. He was always very interested in it. He loves it. So, and I owe him one. He donated so many drinks to the Unique Drink Guru. And I appreciate that I got that from my dad, the wanting to try odd things. My dad always made me as a kid try weird things. We used to do what's called boys' night out when I was a kid, where my dad would take my brother and myself, and we would go out and do something, just the boys. And Dad would always, he goes, "Where am I going to take you guys to eat tonight?" And there was always the regular McDonald's, blah, blah. Dad's like, "No, let's go to a Korean place. Let me take you to somewhere Korean food." And that was what Dad always did. Took us to some kind of weird food place. And I loved it. And then we'd go do some kind of activity. So yeah. Good stuff. Again, though, Shelly, if you guys are just tuning in, I did make a terrible mistake today. Uh, I did have everyone believing that I almost hit somebody with a car for just a second, which was absolutely hilarious, at least in my head. And I was talking to Evie about some of the jokes and pranks I do, and she goes, "You know, dude, people don't realize that the joke you're pulling, and it's only funny to you because they're not in your head." And I was like, "Yeah, but that's who it's supposed to be funny for me." And I started thinking, I was like, is there other comedians that have done this? And I was like, yeah, the biggest influence of a comedian, one of the biggest influence of a comedian was Andy Kaufman. And there were jokes he would do that nobody would understand except him. And he thought they were hilarious, but nobody else understood it. And I was like, but I get that, though. Like, there was, I guess he had a TV special he was doing, and for 10 seconds he told them, mess up the horizontal on the TV. Do you know what that is, Evie, the horizontal?
It's the...
One of the, yeah.
Yeah.
Back in the day, the knobs you could turn, and the TV would adjust your vertical and your horizontal. And he wanted them for 10 seconds to mess with them. They said, why? Why would you want anyone to do that? He goes, because everybody in America is going to get up that's watching, and they're going to go to their TVs and try to mess with the horizontal. And it's going to be hilarious just thinking that everybody's doing that. And then suddenly it's going to go back to normal and they're not going to think anything of it. But it's funny. I get that. That's hilarious. And they were like, but no one's going to get it but you. I was like, well, yeah, but that's who it's going to be funny. And that's who's... Well, it's going to be funny. It is. I don't know. It would be funny just to me. Even if the joke is just that I'm the only one that knows. That's fine. So I got to stop doing that sometimes. Or maybe not. I don't know. I do want to say this, and this is like more on a serious note, which I don't like usually doing very much, but want to definitely put out thoughts and positive thinking out to the people in Florida. If you guys didn't hear what happened, that was absolutely terrible. The fight on Letterman, yeah, that was all great. Pooh head, well, you're a pooh head, Brad. You know what? This is really cool. Brad is so nice enough that he lets me help. I monitor some of his page work for him and keep an eye on stuff. But I'll tell you this, I wake up every day and my Facebook is, if you have 46 new messages, I'm like, oh, okay, well, notifications. None of them are for me. It's just monitoring the work I do for the other people in Nashville and Brad. That's it. What did I do, street cleaner? I'll tell you what I did. I booked a ticket for... We're back. Okay, we're back. Okay, happy birthday, Brad.
Happy birthday.
Happy birthday, cousin I married into, technically. We'd sing you happy birthday, but then Peanut would start singing, and technically that song is copyrighted, so I don't want to sing that on there. Did you know that song was copyrighted by some family? Some little old lady wrote the song, happy birthday, and all that. And now every time they use it, anytime, they were like, oh, you owe us royalties for using my mom's song. And people were like, oh, we thought that was, they're like, no, that's hers, and she wrote it, and it's hers. So. Did you get anything special for your birthday, Brad? Huh? You guys taking Brad out tonight? Ash? Steve? Gary? You lads taking him out for a birthday party? If I was there, I would take him out and get him shit-faced. That's what I would do. While myself remaining completely sober. Just because it's more fun that way. I'm starting to realize, too, like, it taught me one thing a lot. Is drinking was fun, but not drinking can be just as much fun if I have something to do. If I have something to do and I'm not drinking and I'm not supposed to be drinking while I'm doing something, it goes so much easier, and I really enjoy myself. But just going to a bar to hang out while people drank would not be enjoyable whatsoever. But if I was there to have fun and like maybe the mission was to get somebody else completely trashed, oh, no, that would be fun. That's my kind of deal. Evie knows about that.
Shut up.
But see, though, That wasn't my fault, and I'm gonna give her a pass too on that last one because that wasn't her fault either.
It wasn't.
Because I wasn't aware.
I wasn't there. It never happened.
I wasn't aware at Evie's last birthday about how much alcohol people were giving her, and I guess it makes sense.
Neither was I.
But when you're doing an 8-hour set, and people find out it's her birthday. Bartenders were just pouring shots, and they don't care in Nashville. They don't care. The amount of money they make on one bottle of liquor is ridiculous. I guarantee, like, they probably sell 2 shots and the whole bottle's paid for. You know?
Yeah.
So, they're pouring her shots of this, and then, of course, because it's different bartenders, no one bartender is going to give her the same drink. Of course not. Keep her on clears, darks. She was in the pinks, the rainbows, the blues, the grays, the darks, the oak barreled. It was bad. And I told her I was going to buy her a birthday drink. And by the time we got to the second show, she was probably, already 8 shots in, 9 shots in. And I hadn't even bought her. And I was like, well, I guess I need to get you one before we get out of here. That was a mistake, too. But I think that night could have been classified in one song as "Oh, what a night." Good times though, and it doesn't hurt when the bar manager and the head bouncer and everybody's rooting for you.
Go Evie, go Evie, go Evie.
Unfortunately, the owner of the record label was. He was like
still there.
He was like we thought he had left, so Evie was like, it's party time, and
no, that was all Jonathan's fault.
Oh, okay. He said the boss left, so they started
yes.
shots.
That was exactly what he said. That was why.
Only Evie shots.
Yeah, that was insane.
I don't know. It's pretty cool when you can say that you got kicked out of work on your birthday. and the great part was nobody was mad. It was like, okay, that's fine. It was to be expected, almost. It was to be expected.
And everybody just ignored it and acted as if it never happened.
Because you know what, though? It was the great part about it is working this, because the job that's being done.
Dude, you know how many girls I had at work jealous because I got to go to Tequila Cowboy and I got plastered and I got to be exited out through the back door so nobody saw me.
Oh yeah, we got escorted to the
gosh.
back exit,
Seriously.
privately exited the door.
I was the envy of everyone at work. It was so funny. So they're like, oh my god.
But what's nice about... Oh, I didn't finish telling you guys what I did. So basically what happened, though, just to catch everybody up, those who are just getting in, what terrible mistake I made. I know you guys were expecting to have the Joe and a Jay show coming back on March 5th. Or March 6th was going to be the first one. Unfortunately, that's not going to be happening. Because I made a mistake on the ticket. As you guys saw the other night, I had to end the live stream abruptly when I found out I made this mistake. Because it was no joke. It literally took me about 2 hours on the phone to get it corrected. And it wasn't corrected, it was rectified, let's say. It was just rectified, but not corrected. So I have to rebook his ticket, which we can't get. And like the airline was, they were nice about it in a sense, but in a sense it was like, come on, this shouldn't be this difficult. But we couldn't make it happen, but we're going to have to rebook the ticket. So the Joe and the Jay show, by my fault, will be postponed only by a few days. But I feel bad. I really, really do feel bad that I made this small error, and it's going to cost a few days of Joe and the Jay show. We're actually gonna, and because of this mistake, we're gonna lose 2 days worth of filming because we had to change the dates. Now we may once again change the dates again just to rebook this so that we can get the full time. But now basically I'm trying to make corrections to get it done as quickly as possible. but I made an error, and it's going to cost anywhere from 2 days to 2 weeks to correct and have the Joe and a Jay show. So technical difficulties, I'm so sorry. It really is my fault. I know exactly what I did wrong. But kudos to the airline. I did get all my money back on a non-refundable flight ticket. So, and normally they say if I'd have done this within 24 hours, they would refund me. But 2 hours on the phone and enough explaining to somebody that no matter what I do or what I say, this person will never exist, and therefore I will never be able to use this money. What are you going to do about it? And they finally came back with, okay, we'll just give you your money back. Well, that'll do. But to get someone to say we're going to release your money back to you is not very easy out of any company. They generally like to give credit, and I was like, well, I have credit. I'd like to use the credit. You won't let me use the credit because the only person who can use the credit is this errored name, which doesn't exist. This person doesn't exist. I'll never be able to use the credit. And I think it took 5 people to finally get to someone to understand what I was coming at. And they were like, hold on, I will fix this. But I was on hold for the branch in Dallas, Texas, for nearly your hold and wait time is going to be 24 minutes. I was like, well, I'm going to sit here for 24 minutes. The Army gave me a very unique set of skills in that I'm able to sit and patiently wait for absolutely nothing. Really? Like, seriously, Evie can attest to it. Sometimes in the military, you're going to go to somewhere and you're going to sit for 2 hours to do 20 seconds worth of paperwork, check the box, sign your name, and you're done. Really? This took 2 hours? We just did this in 5 seconds. How come you can't just line people up and have them check away? Nope. So I have a very amazing... I'm like you British people, I am very good at queuing. So I think it's a very lost skill, and people need to definitely get the ability back to queue very well. And as I've heard before, the Brits are very, very good at queuing. And so, kudos to you and your queue abilities. Which, while some may not think is a very useful skill, you'd be surprised. Especially since the motto of a lot of things is hurry up and wait. So if you hurry up and waiting and you can wait comfortably. I did see this one picture years ago, and what it was is it said like people at the Hawaiian DMV, and they just leave their sandals in a line, and then everyone goes and sits down, and whoever's sandals are next, there you go. I'm like, well, that's pretty nifty. No sense in breaking your back if you're just standing around. Take a seat, relax, sit down, take a load off, talk a bit. Flip some stuff you found at the thrift store. You'd be surprised, too, sometimes when... I've done this at the thrift store, too. Bought something, asked Evie to drive us home, posted it on the thrift store, and by the time the 2-minute drive home from the thrift store to my house, I can have it sold for like 5 times what I just bought it for. I'm like, I can't believe people just they won't go in because of pride. I think is what it is there. I don't know. I don't know why people won't just walk into a thrift store. Goodwill is where I get a lot of my stuff. I got a pair of $500 Louis Vuittons for Evie for $5 at a thrift store. Brand spanking new. And I know exactly what happened. And it happens very often around here. Some soldier's wife, I guarantee, he got his check-in from deployment money being deployed overseas, and she was like, well, I'm going to get me something nice. Or he was getting ready to come back, and she wanted to look extra special for him, so she went out and bought these expensive pair of shoes. And either one of 2 things happened. One, they PCS'd, and they got lost in the move, and the box was just returned and then dropped off at a Goodwill. Or, unfortunately, they may have gotten a divorce, and in doing so, she sold the shoes, or just gave them away, or something along those lines. But when we saw those shoes in Goodwill, Evie was like, holy crap. Started looking up online. We found what they were, what they were going for, even used, and we're like, we're taking these right now. Run. And it was amazing. $500 pair of Louis Vuittons. Red, what is it, like stiletto?
Red patent leather.
Red patent leather, stiletto, 6-inch heel. Evie rocks them, dude. She can rock those high heel stilettos. Like the point in the stiletto, which is actually technically a type of knife. And the reason they called it stiletto was because of the point that the shoe had. It was very much like a knife. And that's why they're called stilettos. Which has nothing to do with the shoe was actually named after the knife, not the knife after the shoe. So it's just interesting. There you go. Little fun fact for you. But so that was my horrible mistake. So for you guys, I apologize. I feel terrible. And the reason was I tried to rebook the flight immediately for him, but because they said, okay, well, now this flight's not available. I'm like, what do you mean the flight's not available? I know there's a flight on this, there's a ticket available on this flight. Why do I know? Because...
You just canceled it.
Right. You sure they ain't fakes? Maybe somebody else is talking. So what was I saying? So, oh yeah. So trying to rebook the flight, and they told me that it's not available, and I said, okay, well, how much is the ticket going to be to get that flight? And they said, oh, well, now it's going to be like double. And I was like, what? Why can't you just put a different person, keep your money? I feel like I even told them, I said, look, I found another flight for you guys that's even cheaper. Keep the full credit and just give me that flight. And they said, we can't do it. Can't do it. I'm like, oh, man. So you guys are going to make it difficult. But that's okay. We're going to get it fixed. Hello, Tom from the Netherlands. Thank you for stopping in. Oh, cool! That's awesome. He does windmill tours in the Netherlands. So when you go there, that's so cool, man. Well, good. Well, I'm glad you're feeling better, Tom. Sorry to hear that you weren't feeling well. Hello, Mark Mawards. I'm sorry if I pronounced your name wrong. I do believe I saw you just you just subscribed. I'm very happy to have you joining the team here, coming to hang out with everybody. Oh, a mill from 1853? That's so groovy, dude. I want to see a mill from 1853. And then when people be like, you ever seen a mill from 1853? I'd be like, yup, sure did. And they'd be like, wow, I saw a mill from 1854. I saw one from 53, baby. It makes the difference. Right? It really does. Can you imagine bread has been gone through that thing? That thing was a useful... When somebody built that in 1853, they were like, damn, look what we did. That's going to get the job done. Little did they realize that over almost 200 years later, their mill is still up. That's impressive, dude. I've seen a mailbox go down in like 5 years, and their mill stayed up. That's awesome. Well, Tom, yeah, I don't know if it'll allow you to do that. I think I'd have to make you a moderator. Here, I'm going to do this for Tom. I'm going to make you a moderator real quick so you can put that up for everybody. Don't abuse it. I had to go off on another YouTuber because he wasn't properly... Well, I'm not going to say this. I shouldn't say properly. As I don't think he was doing a very good job. He was giving out moderators like it was prizes to be won. There you go. And when you do that, you open up the door to a lot of people who can be two-faced. And I think that's what the case happened. And there was 2 moderators in a live stream that were just being ridiculous. And I was very upset about it. It pissed me off a lot. It was like, dude, really? And I'm trying to bring it to attention. And then later on, I had one of the moderators from the channel contact me privately. It was like, yeah, I've noticed this problem too. But she goes, I'm afraid to speak up about it because I don't want to get in any trouble. And I was like, that's sad. That a moderator on a channel for somebody she does a great job. She does a wonderful job. I've talked to a lot of the moderators and I know these people. And I'm sad that I'm missing out because I won't go back to the channel and watch live anymore. Not until not until something. And it was talked about apparently. Maybe someday I'll go back and hang out in the live streams over there again, but it's going to be a while. And what people don't realize is, like, when you're in a live stream, at least for me, I'm listening to what the person is saying, and then I comment like I'm talking to them, or unless somebody specifically speaks to me, then I speak to them. And if somebody else wants to see what I'm saying and not understand it, that's not acceptable. I was like, whoa, hey, well, talk to me about it for a second. Make sure we're on the same wavelength. And then to have somebody gloating it on, that's also a moderator, and yeah. People are like, whoa, hey, slow down, calm down. And when you try to bring up some information so that somebody notices, you could just see it, just messages being wiped away. Person was covering their tracks so hard not to get in any trouble. And that's a shame. And it just generally upset me. So like I said, with Tom, I don't believe Tom's going to be an issue with that whatsoever. But that's why I'm saying is I'm very careful when I give out my moderating abilities to somebody, especially since you can now post websites. I would expect no less. Like, I don't want anything that would be. What's happening? Well, David, I made a mistake. It was a bad mistake. Hello, Anthony. Oh, shut up, Brad. Brad goes, I wish I was a moderator. You are a mod head. I'm getting Brad here. It's gonna happen. It's gonna happen. Now, here's something too, guys. I wanted to talk about this. Oh, well, hold on. Let me finish telling... who was it? David, what I did. No, I didn't think so, Tom. In no way, shape, or form did I think you would abuse it. You're a great guy. You've been to the live stream tons of times, and I wanted you to be able to post that link since we were talking about it and engaging in it. I don't think we ever have an issue with my moderators. I know everybody here is top-notch. We're all on the same wavelength. I think, again, like Nirvana said it best, a little group, that's how it's been and always will until the end. Hello. So that's the way I like to think of it. So I know you're fine. And I really don't have to worry. I would concern myself with it. But my mistake there, David, is I know I had promised, and I feel like I know I have to repeat myself because every time somebody new comes into the stream and they're asking what's going on, what's the mistake made, what did he do, curses, no, palm, forehead, right there. So what I did was I says to myself, I said, self, don't make a mistake. And I made a mistake. And what the mistake was is that the morning show is going to be delayed. The Joe and a Jay morning show was supposed to be back March 5th. And it's going to be delayed because I made a booking error. Serious booking error. And it required all my juice skills to untangle the knot that I... Is Evie snoring? No, that's Peanut. No, it's butter. Excuse me. Look, hold on. Good ear, though. See? She goes, is that Evie snoring? That was great. Good call. Shelly says, sorry, Evie. Oh, that was funny. Oh, zing! Wonderful. Under a blanket? Of course. My doggies always sleep under a blanket. My dogs generally sleep with me. And one's between, I sleep in kind of like, I don't know, I flip-floppy turns a lot. I never sleep one way properly, and that's why I don't sleep a lot, is because I'm always twisting and turning and moving, and it's uncomfortable. But generally, Peanut, I hold him, and then he becomes a good arm support for my arm. So if I hold him like that and I'm laying down, that's good. And then Butter, because I'm on my side, I'll be in like the S shape, so she'll sleep between my legs. So there's a heater there and a heater here, and it's very warm and comfortable. But they sleep under the blankets with me. When I lay down, I lift the blankets up. Everybody files in. It's my herd. Of course I sleep with my dogs. It's my herd. It's my pack. Oh. I wouldn't have it any other way. And Evie, she's there too. Yeah, she's around. We do have the big bed. But see though, in my house we sleep wherever we want because there's no grown-ups to tell me I have to sleep anywhere I don't want to. If I want to sleep on my couch, I sleep on my couch. If I want to go up to my room and sleep, I'll sleep in my room. If I want to fall asleep in the game room, I can sleep in the game room. There's, like I said, I have no bedtime. Any romance for Valentine's Day? Oh, I got Evie. She got what did we get? I got her a TV show, season 7 of Game of Thrones. She wanted that, and then I got her a surprise teddy bear and surprise candy. So here's her teddy bear. So she didn't expect it, and it's a teddy bear that says he's got the Letterman jacket on and it says, "Love you." So I got her a teddy bear, and then Evie usually eats a lot of chocolate, so instead I got her sour worms. And it was in this really cool heart-shaped box, but it had like all these different rainbow-colored fuzziness on the outside. So it was really cool. And she took me to the game store and bought me some games for Valentine's Day. So, awesome Valentine's Day. And where's your birthday present? We'll go live and I'll donate to you. Oh, I should go onto Amazon and order Brad something and then just have it shipped to the UK. That's what we should do. A nice 18-inch purple double-ended dildo. Just for Brad. That would be funny. But I should have it shipped to his work. Yes, you actually want that. Oh my God. I'm going to admit something to you. I still have them downstairs. And I've never gotten rid of them. But I do have a purpose for them. And I'm going to tell you why what I have. And then you're going to say to yourself, why in the world would you have those? And then I'm going to give you the reason why I have those. And at first, when I tell you what it is I have, it's not going to make any sense at all. But I promise by the time I get done telling you why I have this and how I use them, you'll say, damn, that's a clever way to use that. So here it goes. I've got 2 inflatable blow-up dolls down in the basement. You might be saying to yourself now, why do you have 2 inflatable blow-up dolls? And the reason is, and I told you, I said, you're going to say to yourself, you were very close. You were very close. Now you're going to say to yourself, there's no reasonable reason to have a blow-up doll except for one reason, and it's not that reason. And I'm going to explain to you what I used them for. And I just hung on to them because it was, I don't know, I don't think there's really a clever way of getting rid of those. I don't know, I've always wanted to fill them full of helium and release it. That would be pretty funny. But that comes from another joke, but I'll tell you in a second. So, when I was in the military, we used to have room inspection. Focus. We have room inspection. It's where First Sergeant comes in and they look at your room, go through everything, make sure it's nice and clean. No, everything's squared away. Now, if you can get First Sergeant to laugh or throw off his train of thought, your room inspection is going to go much easier. Because sometimes they just don't want to deal with that at that time in that moment. So, what I did is when they said there was going to be room inspection, go to your room and stand by. You go to the room real quick, inflate one real fast, throw some clothes on her, throw her on the bed. There's a rule in the barracks that says you're not allowed to have overnight guests at the barracks. Nobody's allowed to stay over there. So I would inflate them, and then we'd throw them on our beds. I had 2 of them, because you have a roommate, right? It's only funny if you have 2. And so he would inflate his, I'd inflate mine, throw them on the bed, bam. First Sergeant comes in, Eddies! Greenbaum, what's going on? How are you doing, First Sergeant? What's going on? Not a whole lot. How's everything doing? Well, First Sergeant, I know you said we're not supposed to have overnight guests, but she's special, First Sergeant. And he comes walking around the corner, he looks into my bed area, and he sees my roommate's area, and he's like, oh, hell no. And out the door he went. Room inspection over. Passed my room inspection. And First Sergeant, Green Bomb, what the hell is that? And the joke I was trying to get to was I used to tell First Sergeant, I feel full of helium, First Sergeant, so she plays hard to get. And that was usually enough to get First Sergeant to leave my room. Sip had a very interesting way of making his room inspection go quickly. Sip's room always smelled like coffee because Sip used to percolate. He has a percolator. And
fucking hate that thing.
Sounds like someone playing a drum.
I thought he was drumming his fingers for the longest time.
So what happens was
every morning
when we were in the barracks, Sip's room would always smell like fresh brewed coffee because Sip was a coffee drinker, always brewing coffee. So for Sip's room inspection, I went for the shock factor. Sip went for a shock factor, but in a different way. First Sergeant walks into Sip's room. At ease. How you doing, Sip? Pretty good, First Sergeant. Ah, the coffee room. Sip, why does it always smell like coffee in here? Sip's shock value goes like this. Well, First Sergeant, and remember, there's a rule that says you're not allowed to smoke cigarettes in the barracks, and of course you're not allowed to use drugs. So what did Sip do? Sip goes, well, First Sergeant, the reason my room smells like coffee is because I smoke weed in the barracks, and to cover the smell of weed, I smoke cigarettes in the barracks. But to cover the smell of cigarettes, I brew coffee. First Sergeant, what the hell? Sip, are there any drugs in this room? Weed, meth, amphetamines, crack, anything? Yeah, First Sergeant, what do you need? And he was like, oh my God. And he's out the room. Sip's passed room inspection. It was these shocking values that would make the unit of 557 that Sip and I were in together got used to the idea that Sip and I were going to be getting into a lot of trouble, but just enough trouble right to the edge of where it could become very serious, and we didn't cross that. Boy, we were tiptoeing it. We tiptoed it, and they knew it was us, but we had fun, and everybody was like, you know, the problem with it is, though, is these two guys are crazy, mad out of their mind every weekend, craziness out of these two. But damn, they show up for work every week on time, work hard, they know their jobs, and they're the only ones that do any kind of job work. But 5 o'clock and they're off of duty. There was no holding us back. I got a keg once, and we parked it at Sip's house for like 3 days, and we would just drink on it all day. You know, go to work, grab a couple pumps before you head into the motor pool to do some work. Get off of work at night and kill it. Good times. Had to skateboard it into the barracks. Didn't have a way of wheeling the keg into the barracks because I had to argue we're not supposed to have more than a 6-pack of beer in our barracks room. And I argued with the NCO on duty, and I said, it doesn't say how many ounces each beer should say, Sergeant. He goes, okay, what are you getting at, Green Bomb? I said, well, it says no more than 6 beers, correct? And he goes, yes. I said, well, that's 1 beer. That's 1 big beer, but that's 1 beer. And he goes, oh, let it go. Basically, what happened is the reason I had the keg was it was summer leave. So people go on leave. We get 2 times a year that they give you scheduled time that everybody can take off. If you want to go take 2 weeks off, you can. And you can take leave anytime. You can always put in for leave, but it doesn't mean you're going to get it. But these 2 times of the year, everyone gets it. I wasn't going to take leave this year. I wanted to save some of my leave up. So I didn't take leave, and there was this girl there that we deployed with, and I'd known her. She was a nice girl. And it was really more like just an excuse. And so she goes, my birthday's today, but there's nobody here to do anything. I said, I'll tell you what, Hawk, because that was her name, Hawk. And I says to her, Hawk, you be here at 4 o'clock, and I'll be here at 4 o'clock, and there's going to be a party for you. And she goes, really? I'm like, I'm going to make it happen. She goes, well, I'll buy some food, and if you want to take care of everything else, you're going to plan the party, I'm going to plan the party. She goes, okay. So I went and got my friend Hamilton, and he had a truck. So I was like, dude, I need to ride up to the Class 6. Which Class 6 is the alcohol store on post. So he drives me up there, and I said, hey, to the ladies, there's a keg back there. He Is it for anybody? She goes, no, we like to keep one. So if the soldiers come out of the field, they like to usually have a kegger. We keep an extra one on hand. I said, well, I want it. And they said, well, okay, you can have it. So I got the keg, and it wasn't very expensive, to be honest. The deposit was the high one. It was like $100 deposit and then $60 the keg, so it was $160. But you get your $100 back. So I was like, cool, whatever. And then I went and bought like 6 flavors of vodka, sodas, ice. No, we didn't buy ice because ice was free. We had to go to the PX and buy a bucket so we could put the keg in the bucket. I got the solo cups, of course, because that's what you do. I think I had 3 or 4 different flavors of soda for mixing. So there was like root beer and Coke, and you just buy the $1, 2 liters or whatever. And I wheeled it into our day room. In the barracks, they have what's called a day room. And a day room is basically where there's a TV with cable TV, and there's usually a pool table, maybe a ping pong table, a large open room. And it's supposed to be like a common room for everyone to hang out and mingle. But during the day room. So I used the pool table and I turned that into a bar. Hamilton and I got back to the barracks and I was like, dude, we can't carry this keg. Kegs are kind of heavy. And he's like, dude, I got a skateboard. Perfect. So we got it off down onto the skateboard and we skateboarded it into the barracks, brought all the bags in, set everything up, had a killer blowout party. Turned out awesome. The MPs showed up. That's the military police. And because it was block leave, they were like, what are you guys doing out here? And we're like, we're having a party. And at first we thought we were going to get in trouble because like our party had spilled outside of the barracks into like the parking lot. But this was very common. And the MPs basically showed up and said, well, hey, we're getting off in a couple hours. Can we come hang out? We're like, yeah, of course. Come on. And once you got the MPs there, you're not getting in trouble. Plus, we were on skeleton crew, so there was, like, nobody there to get you in trouble anyway. And most anybody who's watching, like, somebody always has to stay behind. So somebody would be designated the company commander, like some little lieutenant or something like that. He doesn't want to deal with paperwork and want to have any problems on his shift because he's going to be the one who has to deal with it. So they want everything hush, hush, quiet, quiet. Let's just keep it on the lowest level possible. So that's what anything that happened, isn't it? Boy, man, that party was fun. But what was left over with that keg, that's the keg we took. We only killed about half the keg, and then I put it over. We took it over to Sip's house. I threw it in his Mazda. We drove it over to his house, and that stayed there for like 2 or 3 days while we finished the rest of it. Between Sip and I, it took 2 days to finish half a keg. A lot of beer, people. A lot of people don't realize too. The U.S. military is ran on alcohol. It burns clean. It's a clean burning fuel. That's why the soldiers drank it. Where is Sip? He should have been here. Oh, that's fair. At training because they got dropped from training because they were caught with Red Bull. No, I don't think that they would be dropped from training if they got caught with a Red Bull. It would be, it depends on what kind of training you were doing, of course. If they were still like in their boot camp or their basic training and you got caught with the Red Bull, nah, they'd probably just make you do a bunch of push-ups. That's really not a big deal. I saw people get caught smoking weed when I was joining the military, like in basic training, and they got a slap on the wrist, and they were SEAL training. That probably, yeah, you wouldn't be in so much trouble as you would be dropped from the course. So it wouldn't cost you any rank. You just wouldn't be able to complete SEAL school, so you wouldn't be able to be a SEAL. So, yeah, you're not in any trouble. But, yeah, that would probably be considered contraband, and that wouldn't be allowed. So, yeah, no. No, you can have that. But, again, it wouldn't be the end of your career by any means. They would just kick you out of SEAL school. I knew lots of people that went to all kinds of weird schools and failed out. I had a buddy, he tried for diver's school in the Army, and he was gone for a little bit and then came back. We're like, what happened? He goes, I failed. And they were like, oh, okay. So, he couldn't swim it. I know. I know, Jake. I'm sorry, man. You know what you do is, here's the thing about the way I guess like it would work, Andy or Anthony, is you're already at MOS, okay? So SEAL school would be like what I have for my training, which is an ASI, an additional signal identifier. So you would still have your original MOS. Let's say I wanted to go to like Green Beret or Special Forces, because I got offered to go to Special Forces all the time. So what would happen is if I went to Special Forces school, is my MOS would remain the same. I was still a 91 Delta, but I would be a 91 Delta, and then the additional signal identifier for Special Forces would be tacked on to that to identify me as this one with this training. And there's tons of difference. I was a 91 Delta Charlie 9. Charlie 9 was one of my ASIs, my additional signal identifiers. So it was another job. I know, Jake. I know you're just joking, buddy. So yeah, you could reapply for SEAL school. You just would go back to your unit and go back to what you were doing. And that's all it does, is that once you apply for special schooling, you get, whether you pass or you fail. If you fail, you go back to what you were doing. If you pass, you move on and go on to do those things. Moving on to bigger and better things, as they say in the military. So yeah. Oh boy. Yep. Yeah, so I saw people that smuggled in cigarettes and dip and stuff like that into the barracks in basic training. I didn't mess with it. Didn't need to. Oh, that's cool, man. Are you a photographer, David? That's pretty cool, man. Do you work for any, if you are a photographer, do you work for any big companies, or do you do just like freelance stuff, or hired for different activities? Because that's really cool, man. That's good stuff. Oh, did you? Okay, that's awesome, man. Good for you. What a cool job. Oh, that's cool, man. Sea lions, huh? I've seen some sea lions when I was out in San Francisco. They've got them near Pier 23. You can go out and look at the seals and everything. It's pretty cool. Weird animals. Look like big dogs, but those teeth are no joke. Those can really like cause some serious damage if a sea lion really just chews on you a little bit. That would be bad, huh? Definitely bad. Uh-oh. One for bad, two for good. Uh-oh. You guys should learn to count cards. It's actually really easy to do. Doesn't take long to learn. If you can practice it for 6 months, you can go win a few $100s anytime you want to go to the casino. Just go win a few $100, and then your whole trip is paid for and you have a good time for free. Took me about 6 months of practice, like I said, in Iraq. I had 6 months of goofing off and time with cards, and just play with the cards. And it's a very simple formula. Teach you to do it in probably 5 minutes. Lifetime to master. You know what? When I went to Colorado, Evie and I went to Colorado to, it was legal out there when it first became legal. And I wanted to go out there to participate. So we went out there and we went to some other attractions and stuff. But while we were out there, I wanted to go swim with the sharks in the aquarium. And unfortunately, they didn't do it on that day that we went to the aquarium. But I ate an edible and I was going to go swim with the sharks. And I was like, yo, if the shark bites me, he's going to get messed up. So I had a plan. But Evie was like, I'm not swimming with freaking sharks. You're retarded. Right? You didn't want to swim with them?
Heck no.
I was like, there's going to be a fence or a cage or something. I'm sure. Later, Tom. Sneaking over the fence and go park with some friends. Oh, yeah, see, that's what I'm talking about. We did go to the zoo, the Cheyenne Mountain Zoo. Oh, okay, cool, bud. You got to punch it in the snout? Yeah. Oh, I also heard, well, one thing you can do is you can punch it in the snout. If you can kick it in the gills, that'll work too. And of course, what people don't realize is tried and true. Go for the eyes. It'll hurt any creature who doesn't want to be poked in the eyes. Nobody wants to be poked in the eyes. So, eyes, gills, and snout. Yeah. Again, though, most sharks aren't looking to bite you because they're hungry. They're just trying to figure out what you are. And like a baby, it's on its eat, sleep, reproduce. That's what a shark's life is. Eat, sleep, reproduce. So if it's not eating or sleeping, it's trying to reproduce. If it's not trying to reproduce or sleeping, it's eating. And if it's not trying to eat or reproduce, it's asleep. So all you got to do, finger its bum. Well, Brad, I don't know if you're familiar with the anatomy of a shark, but the dangerous end would be over here, and you're talking about trying to get down to this end. So while I can appreciate your willingness, your enthusiasm, yes, thank you, Evie. While I appreciate your enthusiasm and willing to go the extra mile, one, better make it two. I don't think that would work very well. If anything, but see, like I said, I came prepared. I had eaten a big edible in Colorado, which has legal marijuana. So my defense mechanism was that I should be secreting this throughout my body. Because I'll tell you this, when you eat an edible and you sweat, you do smell like weed all day. Mm-hmm. So my idea is that it would be, whoa, buddy, you're secreting. And should it bite me, it's going to be like, whoa, man, that's the last time I ever bite one of those things, and then it's going to talk to the other. Now, I'll say this, though. This was kind of creepy. I don't know how the hell they got these sharks trained to do this.
I know that was. Or if we were just really blitzed out of our
I'm
mind.
not sure, because that, or maybe, I still like to believe that there was a man with a microphone watching us and telling us what we were seeing, but it was like, this can't be, because they're in, this is definitely pre-recorded.
Right.
But these sharks
was like a telegram, or a telegram. Hologram.
The announcer goes, he goes, and if you look now, but there was no announcer, there's nobody there, you just hear like a speaker, and coming up past the window now is the amazing snaggletooth shark. We're like, what the hell are you talking? And then out of left field, snaggletooth, and we're like, what? How did he get to come past the tank like that? And then here comes a ray manta killer, sting you in the death right in the face shark, and I'm like, no, there won't be there. Bump, 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 there it comes. How did he get it to go by the tank? And then there's like a glass view, and the guy's like, I see, if it was pre-recorded, how the hell did they get the sharks to know the cues? And if it wasn't pre-recorded, how is it possible that we were sitting there and in such a short time, he had them on like parade? And I was like, there's no waiting. It's one crazy, nasty, gnarly shark after the next in this giant tank and a little window, and they're just cruising right past. And he goes, and if you look under your feet right now, holy shit! And there was like that one. It was like, dude, this isn't right.
It wasn't. It was so weird.
Orlando Studios had a Jaws. Oh boy, Anthony, let me tell you a story, Anthony, about that exact ride. When I was a kid, okay, we went to the Universal Studios, Orlando Studios. It was Universal Studios, okay, out there when I was little. And we went on the Jaws ride. And I think I was like 3, okay? I was just a little cool. Just a little cool guy at the time. Okay, and the way the ride went is they put you on this like train, this tram that's on a track, and it takes you through the water. Okay, and then they had the big open pool lot that you could see where, it was huge. It looked like a lake. It was huge. And no, this wasn't. This was like a live thing, a real thing. And what happened is that while the train is going through the water, the shark Jaws, which his name was Bruce, by the way. Bruce would come out of the water right at the tram, and people freak out. Okay, right? So, great. I'm with my dad, and they put me and my dad together on this ride. Now, there just so happens to be a seat that was on that ride called the hot seat. And what is the hot seat? The hot seat is the part of the tram that comes the damn absolute closest to the frickin' shark on one side. And guess where I was? I was on the side that the shark came up. And basically, I remember as a child getting on this ride, and I remember going through the water. I don't remember anything else after that. Apparently, I was told that my dad told me years later. He goes, yeah, when that happened, the shark came out of the water. You were inches away from the damn shark, and you went up my shirt and hid there. And,
I can see it.
And I was like, well, I don't remember that, but I do remember getting on the ride, and I remember being at Universal. It was a great day. I had a ton of fun. I have pictures from that day at Mom's house.
I know.
But I don't remember any of that part. Scared the bloody hell out of me. My parents were apparently yelling at the ride, why would you let a 3-year-old sit in the hot seat? And they were like, oh, well, we didn't know. And whatever. They played dumb. But basically, my parents were pretty mad at him for allowing me to be... I was a little cool guy, a little tight. I'll have to show you guys the picture from that day, and you guys are going to get mad. Oh, it's going to be Oz when you see the little blonde hair and the little smile. 1980s feathered hair right in the front, the little comb over I had, you guys remember. Hello. So yeah, scared the piss out of me. But that's the ride that you're talking about. I did go on it years ago, and it was interesting, to say the least. So a couple years ago, yeah, I would say that was probably quite 30 years ago, man. Yeah, just about 30 years ago. What's the mistake, Darren? Darren, I made a mistake, and basically what's going to happen is you should have to just go back and just rewind and find it. That would be better. But I'm not going to make you do that, Darren. I'm going to go ahead and tell you what it is. I messed up for the morning show. Joe and a Jay morning show was supposed to be coming back, and I made a mistake. I messed up, and I booked the ticket funny. So basically, it's been delayed now, and I don't know the dates yet anymore now. So yeah, huge mistake on my part. I apologize. It's still going to happen. I just don't know what. Ugh, I know, right? This was 72? Yeah, right. No. In 1972. What are you talking about? It was I believe that was like 1988. 72. 30 years ago. What are you talking about? It's 2018. You gotta take off, add 10 plus 6, so... Yeah, 88? Exactly, 16 years. You're off by 16 years. You're thinking 2000. You're minusing 30 years from 2000. Basically Jew years. Yeah, right. Absolutely. I read your comment. That's awesome, David. I read the comment. That's crazy. I went on Mickey's Haunted Adventure, too. The Mickey's Haunted Ghost Ride. That was actually pretty fun. If you guys go onto YouTube and you put in Mickey's Haunted Halloween, there's a special. It's on there. I can't believe it's on there. I also found it was on Hulu. I found Dr. Seuss on the Loose. That was one of my favorite cartoons to watch when I was a kid. Ooh, there was just one thing. I gotta ask you guys, if you guys can remember. Yeah, it's always worth asking, and I can never figure out what it is. But there was this movie that I saw years ago as a kid, and I can't remember the name of it. And I always ask people if anybody else happened to have seen it, maybe by off chance, and then I'll know the name of it if they can remember. But basically, what happened in the movie was it started off. It was a real life. It started off in regular, and it was regular action TV. So human people, whatever. This little boy's in his room, and something happens. I don't remember exactly what, but this box winds up. This giant red and white present winds up landing in his room, and it opens up, and he rides his bicycle into it, and it turns into a cartoon. And he has to go through all these different struggles and things he has to go through. I don't remember fully what happens in the movie, but I do remember, though, that he winds up meeting this one man, and he was like weird shaped, like a springy shaped kind of guy, black and white with a bow tie. And he wanted him to do tasks that were really ridiculous. Like, he wanted him to drain a well with an eyedropper. He wanted him to move a pile of sand with a pair of tweezers. And it was just, that's all I can really remember about the movie. And then he winds up doing something to get around that, and then he winds up solving whatever the problem was that had to be solved, and he comes out of the box, and then he's on the phone with his friend, and he's telling us, and he goes back to live, regular human life, and he's telling his friend on the phone, I just went on this amazing adventure, and the box winds up like spinning and leaving his room, and he's talking to his friend, I went on this most amazing adventure, and then the friend says, oh my gosh, this red box just landed in my room. He's like, oh, you're gonna have a good time too, and he hangs up the phone, and that was the end of the movie. Now, I have no idea what this movie is. Somebody even thinks that they possibly, oh my gosh, Anthony might even remember. Sounds like a Cat in the Hat. It's not a Cat in the Hat. I am sure of that. I am sure of it. It was weird animation. He winds up meeting other friends along the way, almost like a Wizard of Oz kind of a deal, and it was like set in like a Boston maybe kind of setting where the houses were together, and possibly a Canadian movie, something along the lines of that. Okay, so basically, all right, I'll try to do my best, Anthony. And I see, this is the problem I have, is I have nothing to Google because I don't even know where to start. And okay, so little boy's going through conflict or something in real life scenario, looks regular scenario. Basically, a giant present that's white and red striped with bow on the top box lands in his room. It winds up opening up on a side, and he winds up riding his bicycle into it. When he rides his bicycle into it, it turns into a cartoon. From there, he goes through all this animation, and, I hope you can. That would be so cool. And he goes through, and he's going through, and he meets friends along the way that are helping him achieve some kind of mission. The only part of it that I can remember is that he comes across this character, and I think the guy was like, kind of like if you imagine Ribbon, and he was kind of ribbony, and he had a top hat and a red bow tie, and he was like, I want you to do these weird tasks, or I need you to help me to do some tasks. This is going to take forever. He wanted him to drain a well. I remember this very specifically. He wanted him to drain a well with an eyedropper, and then he said, I want you also to move this pile of sand with a pair of tweezers. How old is this movie? Here's the thing. I saw it on TV back in, I can't give you a specific date. I really can't. I don't know what the year was. I have nothing to reference to it. I only saw it this one time. So I have nothing to reference to. My brother had seen it multiple times though, and he goes, hey, you should watch this. You'll like it. I've watched it. So I would say that it has to be at least around 87, 88, but that means the movie had to come out maybe in the 70s, early 80s to be on TV already. So I don't know much more about it. Now, the animation style is very much in like, very much in that late 70s kind of animation. It's just very, you guys know, I'm trying to think of something to reference to in that kind of an animation style. 70s, and almost like a his haircut when it turned into a cartoon almost looked like Christopher Robin from Winnie the Pooh. And I know that's a weird kind of saying, but that kind of a drawing style. But it was in this really weird, odd world that he had traveled into, and he was meeting these weird characters and stuff like this. So I don't know. That's all I can remember of it, and I want to see it again. but I don't know what to even look for. And I've tried to Google in certain situations like that. Don't know what to look for, and I'm at a stop. There was one that I found, and it was called The Raccoons, and I couldn't remember anything about that. And the only thing I remembered about the show was I remember one episode, and I was able to find this one. It was one episode I remember that the brother raccoon was buying bags of chips to get puzzle pieces to win. If you got the complete puzzle pieces, you won a bicycle. So he had been, and whoever was putting the bad guy in the show had put out that he was holding back the last piece so that nobody would ever win the bicycle, and they would just keep buying chips. And the guy wound up getting the raccoon wound up getting 10 almost complete puzzles, and he needed the last piece. And so I remembered that about the show. I was able to find it, but I also remembered that the raccoons had their favorite thing was peanut butter fudge, and so I was able to type in raccoons that like peanut butter fudge, and I found that cartoon, and it was called The Raccoons, and I used to watch that when I was a kid. And I found Under the Umbrella Tree. I used to watch that when I was young. I loved it. It was one of my favorite. Problem is, though, is that I found some on YouTube, but I can't find episodes that I specifically want to watch again that I remember. Now, they've got some on there, but I don't know. Not all of them. Like what they say is the first episode online on YouTube. That's not the first episode. I remember what the first episode was, and that's not the first episode. Someone got it wrong. But I used to watch Under the Big Top when I was little. That was one of my favorite shows. Oh, you watched Raccoons as well, Brad. That was so cool. Cool. You remember that show? They like the peanut butter fudge? Rescue Rangers. Yep. I used to watch Rescue Rangers. Do you know what the game store has? Oh my gosh, I want it so bad. I think it was it was really wicked. It's been $36 for this game, and it was James Bond Jr., the video game based off the TV series from USA. Power Rangers. I remember Power Rangers. The originals were good. The originals were great. Power Rangers. Awesome. I had the biggest crush on Amy Jo Johnson. Still kind of do. But everybody had a crush on Amy Jo Johnson. So, yeah. Go, go, Power Rangers. You mighty Morphin Power Rangers. She was the Pink Ranger. She was the Pink Ranger, Amy Jo Johnson. How can you not remember? You're not a real man if you don't know who the Pink Ranger's real name is. Her name was Kimberly in the show, played by the actress Amy Jo Johnson. Joe spelled J-O. Oh, she could kick me anytime. She still looked good. Oh yeah, that was my first crush. Well, hold on. My first, okay, so one of my first, I guess, movie first crushes then would have been the girl from the movie My Girl. Huge crush on her. I don't even know her name, her real name. Crush on her. I also had a crush on the girl from the movie Addams Family, or Casper. Same girl. She was always really cute. But Amy Jo Johnson had a special place. But wow, the game store has definitely got some good games, so. No, Brad, of course. You got to do your thing. Maybe we can send people back and forth. Now, Brad, before you go, though, I wanted to do an experiment last time, and we weren't able to do it, but I'd like to try to do it now. When you go live, do you have another computer that... Oh, well, who didn't have a crush on Britney Spears? Everybody has a crush on Britney Spears. If you seek Amy. All these blue wrenches, I can almost feel the power. The power is yours. I have the power. I didn't like Christina Aguilera as much. She was a little too just a little. Britney Spears had this nice girl next door. Christina Aguilera was kind of like the naughty girl. And I was like, that's not my deal. That's just trouble. But there can only be one Highlander. But anyway, so I tried to do it, Brad, during your other live stream, and I wanted to break the internet. So what we need to do is I want to video chat you on over here while you're doing your live stream. I'll do my live stream. Can you do that? Will your computer work that way? Can we try to set this up and make it happen? See if we can break the internet. I want to live stream you while video chat you while you're live streaming while I'm live streaming. We can break the internet this way. You're gonna be in a car. That's fine. That's fine. Just bring your computer out there, and then you'll have your camera. A double live stream video chat. A double live stream video chat. It's never been done. Never been done. Now, people have done Google Hangouts, but it's not in the same. Okay? Yes, Brad. Why are you making this so difficult? Yeah, Brad. Like the polish guy. No internet on your laptop? Don't you have Bluetooth Wi-Fi on that? Oh, you guys suck. The UK, come on. I can go I can go sit outside McDonald's and get free Wi-Fi. He goes, what's that? Starbucks gives you free internet. You're killing me, Smalls. Well, another time then, Brad. Go. Leave us. Do your live stream, Brad. Leave us in the cold. Maybe just, how about this? Give a shout out when you do yours. I'm going to come over and watch yours. So I'll be watching yours. I'll comment on yours. Talk to them. Talk to you. You're only going to the bottom of the road. Why are you going to the bottom of the road? Why do you... Okay. I'm not... You're an odd one, Mr. Grinch. You have... Well, I guess so. These things. I keep getting told off by the missus. I hear you. Doesn't she see the awesomeness that is... Did you tell her? Did you explain to her 10,000 subscribers? I don't think that she's quite understanding. I want you to think of it like this, Brad. You got to explain it to her like this. Look, be like, love, you got to think about it like this. You see, I got 10,000 subscribers. So, like, when Manchester United is playing and there's a crowd of 10,000 fans screaming their heads off, it's the same thing as for me. There are 10,000 people shouting, Brad, 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 love, you got to understand. And then once you explain it like that, she'll understand, and then... Well, good. That's good. Good for you, Brad. Good for you. Oh, thank you, Tom. You like that accent? I don't know. I think that was too much like Ricky Gervais coming through. And now it's gone. I can bring it back anytime I want to, though. It's not very difficult. You see, you just YouTube money, Brad's rolling in the dough, constantly dollars falling out of the sky, snatching them from the clouds, rain coming down, bothering him, no, still casting the magnet, pulling it in, casting it out, little bit of music, that's nice. Then he chats up a bit, gives you his little thing, little bit of ash, always lovely. Oi, got a beard, nice chap. Maybe a guest. Who knows? Thanks for watching. You know what? I'm going to tell you guys something funny Brad did the other day. I was video chatting Brad. I can't do your voice. I was video chatting Brad the other day, and we're talking and everything like that for a minute, and I'm like, all right. He's like, well, I got to go now. I'm like, all right, man, cool. You know, cool talking to you, man. We'll talk to you later. He goes, thanks for watching. Subscribe. I was stunned for a minute, and I was like, what am I wait, do I need to thumbs up this? But see, that was the thing, is I was like, oh yeah, okay. I gotta thumbs up it. It was pretty funny. But it is, and I understand where Brad's coming from. It's a force of habit kind of deal. You don't mean to. It's just you get so used to talking to the camera that, oh, time to wrap it up, and you know how to wrap it up. And like, I have my ways of, when you start hearing the music play, it's time to wrap it up. Brad's accent. How do I do Brad's voice? Subscribe? I don't know. Hold on. Let me try to do Brad's. All right, hold on. We're going to do like this. I'm going to do this for you guys. Hold on. Oh. All right, here's what I'm going to do. I don't normally do this. I'm going to go listen to Brad's voice for a second, and I'm going to try to match my voice to his. All right, I'm going to try. Because I know when I do Brad's voice, I usually come out as like a Ringo Starr or something along those lines. Try holding my nose when I do it. Well, actually, that does help a bit, but I'm coming through as a bit of Mr. Humphreys. All right, well, that actually does help out a little bit. It gives me that more nasally pitch. And it's nothing bad. It's just that's the way you sound. So let me go to your channel real quick, and I'm going to pick a video. We're going to go with that. That's Bradley. Like Robin Williams. Hello. Regina Doubtfire, dear. I'm a mean old lady who can hip hop, bebop, yo-yo, make a mean cup of cocoa. Ooh, hello. Regina Doubtfire, dear. I served 3 years. It was for the tuppence, not to be mistaken. No. Now, that's the way, that's Steve. Steve, that's some guy. That's some dude. He talks a bit like this. And he's a really good enough chap. Alright, let's find a bit of Brad. Let's find a bit of Brad. Let's find a bit of Brad. Let's see. There's Brad. No. I just want some Brad. Brad Pitt? No, not that Brad Pitt. I don't want Brad Pitt. I'm sure a lot of people want Brad Pitt, but that's not what we're looking for. Brad Paisley. Oh, yeah, there's something that's nice. My video comes up. Alright, I'm gonna have to go back to the top. Okay, just pick a Brad video. Right there. Burp. Miss Guzzy. I'm gonna comment too. Oh, that's crazy. There's an ad playing real quick. I've already thumbs up this video, so that's good. So I'm gonna go ahead and comment one more time. Another smashing video as usual. Poop on a stick is what I'm gonna say. Poop on a stick. Poop on a stick is what I said. There we go. Okay. Okay. Let's get to a part where I can hear his voice. And another commercial, Brad. Classy. Look at Brad getting all YouTube famous. Here we go. We are currently in Manchester City Centre, surrounded by flats. We got another friend with us. It's kids to find on my YouTube channel, and I got to meet them yesterday. He has no name. You want to say hey to your kids? Right. He did it good a minute ago. Oh, on the telly. I don't know if that's close. It does help when I pull my nose. Already. Is it excited about something? Oh no, how was that? It was close. It wasn't bad. It wasn't good, I don't think. Once I hear him live, his voice is just too hard to copy. I've never heard that accent before. You guys in the UK have so... It's close. I think I could get away with it if I made a phone call. Oh, this is Brad. His laugh is easy. Uh-huh. I sound like Ash. Oh, Ash is up here coming. Oh, it's Brad coming over. Glad to have you guys drinking a beer. No, that's not Brad, Ash. I'd have to listen to his voice again. No, it's not coming. All right, Brad, go live. Do your thing. I'm going to watch your live stream and comment. I'll have you in this ear, them over here. I'll be making fun of them in the live stream. I'm going to be live streaming, laughing at him, at you, and we'll keep it going. So you go live. I'll see you there. I'm going to be one of the first over. I'm prepped and ready. In fact, I'm going to get to Brad's channel now so I can be... There can be only number 1-1, and I want to be the one. So I'm going to be ready to go. Hold on. Hopefully he's not getting... Are you there yet? Are you ready to go live now? Have you arrived, or do I have time to prep? You're not giving me a lot of feedback here. I won't take up too much of Brad's time. I'll be live probably another 20 minutes, and then I'll be off of this one. So it'll be, all of you can migrate to Brad. So let's not blow up Brad's channel just yet. Ignore him, because you're going to leave mine, and then we'll all go to his together. So let's ignore him. Let's go to Brad's and say, no, people, ignore Brad. Come to Jay's. His is almost done, and then we're going over to Brad's as a group. It's a group thing, because we're getting a Groupon, and who doesn't love Groupons? Everybody loves Groupons. Right. Good. That's what I'd like to hear, good sir. Say no more, say no more. I'm interested to see, though, that when Brad and Ash come to visit, if they start picking up any American accents, when they go back, where their videos reflect anything of, like, the language. Because I was told that Ash tells me, he goes, dude, I can tell when Brad's been talking to you. Oh, Brad's live. Oh, it's his 30th birthday. Oh, he's so old. He's so old. He's going to die. He's so old. Oh, did I get there first? No, probably not. Yep, I was first. I am first. Why can't I chat? Jake cheated. Here we go. I was just watching it. It's pretty copying my voice. It's pretty funny. Yeah, so, Thanks for all the birthday messages. Oh, I've got his voice down now. I gotta pull him down on my nose. Yay. 30. Step 30. I got it. I got his voice. There it is. I'm 30. I got his voice. I finally got it. I got it. I got your voice. I got it. That's awesome. I got his voice. This. Oh, I got it. Oh,
That did not seem like 15 minutes.
1 hour.
But dear
38.
Lord.
1 hour 38. Ah, I got it. I got it. Does it not sound like Brad? I hit 30 today. I turned 30. Yeah. Hello. Glad to have you stopping by my stream. I gotta go pull the nose out and down to get the nose the way I need to make the sound. Happy birthday to Brad from Evie. Cousin
Evie.
From Cuz Evie. Look, I can do what he just said. My camera's a bit dirty and I don't like the look of it. No, that's different there. My camera's dirty and I don't like the look of it. There we go. Just as I said, there we go. He said, there we go. I got it. This is fun. I've been trying to work so hard on Brad's voice. Someone finally suggested pulling the nose down, and they got it right because it makes sense. Like when I do my droopy dog, when you do droopy dog, you gotta pull over here. Oh, you do, Tom. That's awesome. Hello, Amy Gilding. Glad to have you stopping in. I appreciate you coming by. I'm watching Brad's live stream, commenting on that. I'm trying to use his voice. I got my hair cut today.
Did you say you'd give him a super chat for his birthday?
Oh, here we go. I did. Send a super chat. Happy. There we go. Let me finish this up right here. Giving Brad a super chat message because he earned it. And I've already got that memorized. I've got that done. There we go. Here we go. Bam! Nailed him with the super chat. That was fun. Oh, I love. See, super chats are always so much fun. I love doing them. I always go the minimum when I give somebody a super chat, but I love being able to do it for some people on their streams too, because you get to put a fun message in there, and they definitely will read it, and it's a good way, and I love doing it. I always work a few into my budget every month. Oh, and look, there we gotta go. Now Alex went. We got Alex going. Yeah, way to go, Alex. Way to go, Alex. Old as dirt. He's old as dirt. He goes, I'm still young. I'm still young.
So today's his 30th birthday?
Yeah, he's 30. 30 dirty. It's not that bad. I think 30s is going to be the best one. 30s is the best years I think of. But they try to convince you that it's your 20s, and I'm like, nah, dude.
I'm not going.
Oh, go Super Goat. There we go. Look, we got it generating. We got the ball rolling for him. Good for Brad. Thank you, Amy. I appreciate it. Oh, somebody just suggested to me, they were like, when you're doing his voice, pull on your nose. And I was doing it, I was like, this isn't working, I'm not getting the sound I need. And then I was like, oh, it's forward and down, and it gives me that, oh, no, I can do Brad. Okay, he got package. Hello, everyone. I'm Brad, doing a bit of magnet fishing. It's a bit rainy. And now I can actually do it. So, it's pretty good. So, thank you. But, oh, there we go. Oh, wow, yeah, somebody just hit him with a nice big super chat. That is awesome. Good for Brad. See, you just got to get the ball rolling for somebody, and then people, they tend to follow the trend, and that's great. That's so good for him. I'm so proud of what he's done, how much he's come up in Brad and I have been friends for about 2 years now. And from where his channel was when we first met, I'm so proud of the growth he's had. It's been absolutely amazing for him. I'm just excited to see it happen to somebody because it's just one of those things you don't know people who do this, but to actually be friends with somebody to have this happen. This is just amazing. It's cool to see. It's proof that it does work. And there's times where I was going to give up on YouTube, and Brad's like, "Don't do it, man. It's going to be okay. You'll get there." And I was like, "I don't know, man." And to see somebody else at least prove that it can be done is always inspirational. So I know it can be done. That's awesome. Good for him. All right, so what are we talking about, though? Let me jump back over to see my chat and see what you guys are yelling about.
Yes.
I can still hear him over in this ear. I still want to chat with you guys, too. My mistake, though. Horrible mistake. It's been correct. We're going to fix it, though. Again, I'm so sorry about the Joe and a Jay live morning show being postponed. It's not the end of the world. But we'll correct it. I'll correct it soon enough, and we're still going to have it going. I wouldn't want you guys... I don't want to miss out on doing it. It's one of my favorite shows. Amy, I feel like I know you, Amy. Have I met you before, or are you just somebody who's tuned into the stream? It feels like I don't know if I know you or not. I don't want to mistake somebody for somebody I don't know, but I don't know if I've met you and then you follow me on a different basis, or did you just find the stream? Either way, it doesn't matter. Glad to have you with us. David says he's 25 years older than Brad. Oh, well, that's not so bad, David. That means you're only, 22 years older than me. So, bada boom, bada bing. Look, Sip's 15 years older than me. Canadian, oh, he got a jersey. Nice. Oh, Canada. See, I'm trying to figure out why Brad is sober enough right now to be doing a live stream. His friends should have had him out like crazy. I mean, it is Thursday, right? It's still Thursday night, so he should be out partying right now. Oh, that's cool, David. Yeah, so yeah, I'll be 33 next month. Big O 33. Big milestone. Big milestone. My birthday is March 31st. March 31st, I will be 33 on the 31st. I'll be live with you guys. I'll come in. We'll do birthday live. Yours is March 14th. All right. My dad's is the 17th. March birthdays are awesome. Oh, well, thank you, David. I appreciate it, man. I look up to a lot of you guys, and I hold a lot of you guys' opinion very valuable to me, more than you guys would probably know. You guys want to hang out with me, and I enjoy hanging out with you, so it's a lot different than people that are just kind of like face friends. You guys definitely show that you put in May. See, birthdays that start with M, I think those are some of the coolest people. May, March, yeah. The May and the March people are really cool, laid-back people. You know, we're all chill. It's just chilling, dude. I don't need conflict. Let's just chill. Let's just chill. No need for all of this huff and puffing. Just chill. So there you go. Oh, yeah. Go enjoy his, Tom, for sure. Absolutely. I appreciate you coming by. It's always a pleasure to have our friends from the Netherlands stopping in. But go see Ash. I'm watching him, too. You know, I don't want to miss this either.
Ash.
Or Tom. I'm watching Brad as well. I'm getting names mixed up. You're left-handed? I am not left. Well, see, now, here's the thing is I'm slightly ambidextrous, but I've become more accustomed to using my left hand for more things only because my right arm when I got my right arm got injured, so I started using my left hand more. Oh, somebody sent Brad some birthday gifts. That's nice of them. He got a book and a jersey. That's so cool. From the Canadian Football League. Awesome. Good stuff. There we go. See, Tom just left over there, but I'm going to make sure I say hi to him over here so he knows it's... He felt he... No, it's bumming. He goes, how's my live stream doing? I said, it's bombing, but I got your voice down cold. That's funny. Oh, the Popo Brad's in trouble. They're going to come looking. Welcome to the 30 team. There's Ash. There's everybody jumping in saying hi to Ash. See, I will say this, though. This is interesting. I'm looking at this, and this is how I know I feel good about this. Brad has 61 people watching his live stream with 39 thumbs up. That's good numbers, great numbers. But when I look at my numbers, I have 3 people watching right now, and I think we maxed out at like 9, and I have 14, which means that by thumbs up alone, you guys are making sure you're coming in, you're actually engaging with me in your thumbs up, and you're not there just to look and pass yourselves off for more. I see some people who do this in Brad's live stream. They just want to make noise to get attention. But I know you guys don't do that. You guys actually come to hang out, and that's what I appreciate the most. Is I may not have as many subscribers, but I think I have some of the best subscribers. And I would rather have quality over quality. Hello, Stormcloud. I haven't seen you in a while. Good to see you. I haven't seen you since, I think the last time I was over on LAB stream right before I got booted. Oh, I can't believe I said that. Wasn't trying to say that. But, yeah. Well, good to see you, Storm. Haven't seen you. How you been? Hopefully everything's been going good for you. Everything's going great. I see you, Storm. Thanks for stopping over. I got you guys over here, and I got Brad going on over here. Oh, well, thank you, David. I really do appreciate it. The topics I come up with and stuff is just the things that I'm thinking off the top of my head generally. It's just how my brain works. I come up with weird things and I like talking about them. And I think it's always been an issue in my life, though, that sometimes I just say things that are in my head and I just want to get them out because I need to say them. And because there's so many thoughts going on that I just need to get one of them or 2 of them out of my head so I can stop thinking about them. Because once I say it, it's done. It's gone. I don't have to think about it anymore. I put it out there. And so being able to do this on YouTube is definitely a big outlet. So having you guys actually stop in to actually want to listen to some of these, just some weird guy wanting to rant from his living room, hanging out with you guys, I find absolutely odd that anybody would even enjoy it. But I'm so happy that you guys do. And the topics, David, I appreciate that you enjoy these topics. They're, like I said, just random thoughts. And they come on a daily. It doesn't stop. Let's see what's going on over here with Brad. And I try to make it enjoyable. We try to have a good time. I try to come up with fun things for us to talk and do together. And I understand people's time is valuable. So the fact that you guys come and spend your time with me here a couple hours a day, it really means a lot. It really, really does. I mean, people watch TV for like 2-3 hours a day, but to come and actually spend time with me watching and hanging out, that means more. It means more than you guys could ever believe. But I also do things that I think of you guys all the time, and I'm like, well, I got to do things for them. So that's also, it's a give and take, and I really do appreciate it. So, yeah. Brad looks like I look like a serial killer. Look at him posing. Look at Look at him. Ever since I started bringing up the hair, he's all into the hair. Oh, Brad's a good cat, man. Can't wait to get him over here. Can't wait to get Ash over here, too. Ash and I think, are going to have a great time together.
I think you 2 are going to be troublemakers.
I think so, too. I think Brad is going to be our voice of reason. And there's
me.
And Evie, I think Evie and Brad will be our voices of reason, and Ash and I are going to be the devil's advocates. I have a strong feeling that's how it's going to go. The adventures. Oh, look at all this good stuff. You got some good gear. Good stuff. Your tash? I'm not familiar with what a tash is. So I got to figure out what a tash is. I've never heard this. Storm's over here now. Hi, Storm. I guess he has 2 accounts going on. Oh, a mustache. Okay. Ah, there we go. You guys use all these words I'm not always familiar with. Somebody asked if Brad's still planning on doing a U.S. tour. We're trying. We're trying to get Brad over here. I'm gonna come up with I've got the funds in plan. I'm just trying to make everything happen for it. We're going to get those travel funds. We're going to make it happen, though, for Brad. Sorry, I didn't mean to leave you guys hanging there for a minute. He's over here talking about him coming to the U.S., and we got to make it happen. So this is how we're going to get him here. It seems like it's working. He's doing great. Picking up so many subscribers. Eventually, it would be great if we could get someone to fly him over here. But then again, though, if that happens, he's probably going to have to go out to like a big company and do something like that. So that would be fun, and then I would just try to meet up with him if possible, or if we could get him a ticket routed through. There's ways to play with things to be able to do 2 ends, even if he could get a sponsor to get him there, and then his way back, just have it routed a different way. Tons of ways to do that, or pay for your own ticket back. That would be much cheaper. But we got to get Ash here as well. So that's the only way it would work, if we can get them both. But guys, I'm coming up on my 2-hour mark. I'm probably getting ready to jump off of this, stick around watching Brad just a little bit longer, hang out. I'm going to go step into the Batcave for a minute. And I think that's going to be ours for today. Again, so sorry about the mistake I made with the Joe and a Jay show. I totally goofed that one. We're going to get it corrected. So my dates for when I told you guys on the 5th of March and the 6th of March being the first when Sip would be here. Again, that is incorrect. The mistake was all mine, and what are you going to do, though? But we're going to get it fixed, so it'll be just a little bit later. But, guys, thank you so much for stopping in and coming and wasting some of your life with me. I do appreciate it. You guys have a great day. Make sure you hit that thumbs up, share, subscribe if you haven't already. But I know you guys have. So, later.